Welcome to Brunch with Besties Podcast. Welcome to Brunch with Besties Podcast.
Hey, guys.
I am Sherry Renee.
And I'm Chanel.
Our mission is to heal and help others as we heal and help ourselves through purpose-driven conversation.
Yes, it is.
Happy Monday.
It is Monday.
We are here.
Yes.
Today we are discussing healing, of course, as we do every week. But today we're saying, we're answering the question, what is healing anyway?
Yeah, what is that?
What is it? What does that even mean? But before we get into that, we're going to start like we always do with a toast.
Yes, so I'm going to give my toast to these last 10 days of school. That's what's going to give my toast today. Winter break is upon us almost. So it's technically 9 days now because we're done today. So on my countdown. So rejoice, all the educators, rejoice. I know this is a joyous occasion. So just let's knock out the next 2 weeks. Let's just get our rest, recharge, and just knock it out with a bang. So I was in the classroom again today, had to put on my teacher hat. And yeah, I remember why I took it off. So I am like, ooh, Jesus. But I'm excited for the next 9 days to really fly by so that I can fully rest and recharge.
Okay, that's good. That's good. My toast goes to my niece. She is learning about accountability.
Okay.
And, last night was a good lesson for her.
Accountability lesson. Do you want to share this lesson? Like, what happened?
Why not? So, pumpkin pie, because that's what I call him.
No,
she calls me. She help me.
Not help me.
Help me.
help me.
And I said, pumpkin pie, what's wrong? What's wrong with that? Mommy.
No, that me, mama.
Mommy. She was explaining to me that she wants some game downloaded on her phone. But it's not working, so that's why it's not on her phone. But apparently she was able to get it on her granny's phone. She does not understand why it can be on her granny's phone and work just fine, but it's not working on her mom. On her phone.
Okay.
And so I'm like, well, Pumpkin, Mommy is saying that it doesn't work, and she's like, it works. It works.
Right.
It works on Granny's phone, right? She's not giving up on it. And then she's going off talking about me. She don't want me to do that. Like, she just like goes completely on this little rampage. And I was like, Pumpkin, Mommy told you can check in with Granny, later when she's off work, and you can see if she can help you. But right now it's not working, so you need to play with something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, Mommy, and like she just keep going off saying she's mean, and now Daddy mean, and Granny mean, and everybody's mean.
Everybody.
Like, have to explain to her, just because somebody is mean. I mean, just because somebody
said, well, now you know
mean,
your parents is mean.
I was like, just because somebody says no to you does not mean that they are being mean, right? It is what it is, and also you need to understand that when Mommy says go, right? You can call TT, but TT is going to say, what did Mommy say?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to review the org chart with her and let her know.
Right. Listen,
Mommy's actually
Mama's
the CEO,
up here,
the president, the owner, and operator. Okay?
And I'm way down here.
I'm just a mere contributor, an individual contributor. That is it. That's all.
That's it.
But she tell it like she like starts to fabricate these stories about Mommy. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, you hurt Mommy's feelings. Yeah. You are telling stories on Mommy, and she just keeps going, and she's like, hurt my feelings. She hurt my, and then she crying and being all dramatic and just doing the most. But eventually, because I said, no, you tell Mommy, I'm sorry. I told stories on you. I called you names. I called you mean. And I was like, that's not nice. Yeah. That's not kind, right? And so eventually she apologized and she, owned up to it and said it. But then I was thinking, that's what adults do too. Some of them, right? As soon as you say no, they call up people
Yeah.
talk bad about you.
It's a whole scenario. Listen.
Lie on you and call your name.
All of that.
So I was like, Brittany, that's my sister. I said, we're going to have to nip this in the bud right now because, look, I have seen adults do this.
This can go from bad to worse, and we don't check it right now.
So we're going to get this in the bud right now.
Yeah.
And then I said, honestly, as a family, I was like, because she's getting older now. She's not a baby.
Yeah.
And, when she was a baby, something might happen and somebody's like, oh no, just give it to, like, we'll, kind of go against whoever set the rule. And I was like, we need to stop doing that. When you say it's time to go, it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
When you say she can't have nothing, she can't have it.
Mm-hmm.
When you say it's time to go to bed, it's no, let her stay. No, because that's what she do. She'll go find somebody to get what she wants. Mm-hmm. And we're teaching her manipulation.
That's true.
And that ain't gonna ride over here.
And then, and teaching her like what no really means. So then when she tries to use no, like she's already gonna have it in her head. Like it don't really mean no. Like I'm saying no, but it can still go whichever way.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I told her too. I said she doesn't understand no. Because she thinks she really picked up her phone. You got a lot of nerve. I'm gonna pick up my phone, call my TT, and I'm gonna get what I want in front of my mom.
Yeah.
In her house.
Listen, on the phone that she paid for.
I said, girl, you don't even know what mean is. But that's neither here nor there.
Now, I know somebody is paying that bill, and it ain't her.
It ain't you. Okay.
Listen.
And people ain't mean just because they don't give you what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. And I said, so next time, tell mommy what you're gonna do next, because mommy's gonna say no.
Yeah.
So next time, and she was like, as soon as you get off the phone with your TV, that's the last call. Like,
say, ain't no more calling. Don't fight it. But yeah, you're never too young to learn accountability.
I mean, but the funny thing is that she was going back and forth. Like, she is very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Very intelligent. So I'm like, if we teach her no.
Oh yeah, she'll get it.
She will learn it. But unfortunately, she's learning how to manipulate the situation to make it look like the way she want to look, to get what she want. Mommy, give me, like, come and save me from mommy. Girl, can't nobody save you from mommy.
No. And there is no need for saving. No,
you don't need to be saved.
No, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So
yeah, but I was like, girl, we have to have a family meeting. You have to tell everybody, like, look now, when I say no, it's no.
Yeah. Everybody got to be one band, one sound with that. Yeah. And that's the age too, where it's just like, okay, I want to get what I want. But the more you all have conversations with her, she will get it. Like you said, she's super bright. Yeah. She ain't gonna have a choice.
She don't have a choice.
We are teaching full women and they know accountability and all of those things. So yes, queens raising queens. I love it. All right.
So now let's check in.
Oh, okay.
How are you doing?
I am good. Like I said, we rolling into the last couple of days of school. Preparing for my son's golden 13th birthday. Could not believe my baby is about to be 13. Like,
he's a grown man.
He is getting there. I mean, he got a little facial hair, getting taller, a little bass in his voice. Not a lot, no. Just a little bit. He sleeps all the time. Just typical boy. Just wants to kick it and hang out. But it was nice to kind of hang out and laugh with him on Sunday. And I was talking to another mom maybe at his game or something. And I'm like, I love the relationship that I have with my son. Because no matter how, annoying I might be to him or I make him angry, like, he will not leave me or get out the car or anytime we like depart from each other without kissing me first. Like, even if he's angry, like, he's still gonna give me a kiss. And
I hate you.
Right. He's still gonna go through with it and do it. And I was like, wow, that's so great that he still wants to, show me that affection, even when he's not happy with me or if I'm getting on his nerve or something. So it just goes to show, like, our relationship and, how he values that relationship, even though, we might be at odds at the time. But I'm proud of the kid, man. It's been a wonderful watching him grow up. And, now is the time that I just keep him covered in prayer and make sure that he's protected because it's hard out here for young Black boys. And I just want to make sure that he's in an environment where he can grow and thrive and grow old. So, yeah, if you all are praying, people keep my boy covered in prayer. I just want to make sure that he's able to grow old out here in these streets. It's scary out here for young Black boys. So yeah, that's what I've been doing and going through, and preparing for the birthday, my birth date as well.
Now, say more on that.
My baby boy. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like without me, there would be no him. I did a lot of work.
This is the anniversary of the day I gave birth to you. This is not your birthday.
There was a lot of work on my part involved, not even on his dad's part. Like, I did all the work to get him here, to bring him earthside to this world. So we gonna celebrate. We gonna turn up like we always do. This is all the time. We turn up and we celebrate. And ain't it gonna be no different. So I'm excited, he's gonna be around people that love him and want to pour into him and see him grow. So that's always a good thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
People love JR. Like, my kid is so loved.
JR.
We appreciate it.
He is
such a good kid. So
he is a good kid.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. What's been going on with me?
What's been going on with you?
I mean, sorry. What's been going on?
Now, what's going on with me? I don't know, child.
Where's the rest of my story? I don't have nothing else. But yes, what's going on with Sherry Renee?
You made my name sound really jazzy. Okay. Hey.
No, let's try it.
There we go. I am winding down at work. So okay, my boss has been off since November 30th. Okay.
Wow.
And he will be off until
the shutdown.
Until January 4th or something like that.
Wow.
And
that's a nice break.
I am his out of office.
So you technically are the boss now.
I'm the boss.
Okay.
And yeah, it's been real. It's been fun.
Hey.
The funniest thing is when he left, when it was his last day, he was like, yeah, so I'm listening to his man at the office. And I was like, well, should we set up a meeting? Is there things I need to do? He's like, no, you'll be fine. And then I was like, I'm setting up a meeting.
Right.
So I set up a meeting. And he's like, we don't really have anything to cover here, blah, blah, blah. And so then I started naming stuff. He's like, oh, yeah. I'll forward that to you.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. I'll add you to that meeting. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that for 5 minutes. And I was like, you don't give a damn or a F. Okay. You are out.
Listen, you said your mind is already on vacation.
Like, I don't care. Okay. He said, your standard response is, he'll get to this when he gets back. I don't know.
Okay.
But that ain't gonna fly.
It's not. No, because people gonna have some
that is
real
not going to fly.
They're gonna have some follow-up questions like, but I mean, I need X, Y, and Z.
But no, it's been cool.
That's what's up.
I told myself, well, just so you're aware, I too will be out of the office for several weeks. So I don't know what
who's gonna be third in command, because I don't know. I'm out.
It's just gonna be like my out of y'all is gonna be like, we'll get to you in Q1. Hopefully.
Listen, the 1 and the 2 is out. So,
I don't know.
Google that shit. I don't know.
Not Google it though.
I don't know what to tell you.
We'll see. I don't know.
That is hilarious.
So, but I'm excited. The countdown is real.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, countdown.
I'm grateful for the countdown.
Count me down.
I'm ready to be lazy. Like,
girl, I cannot wait. And I feel like I don't even have no shows to watch or anything like that. I feel like I've watched everything. I'm gonna find some new shows to watch, and if it's outside of my kid or brunch or bestie stuff. Other than that, I don't have no plans to do anything else other than that.
Yeah. I think I have one more work trip.
Okay.
That I'm sneaking, just real quick.
Mm-mm.
And then I'm gonna do a family trip for Christmas.
Nice.
Possibly. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna sit down.
That's me too.
Sit down.
Hang out with my friends while they in town, while y'all here. Other than that, then try to get my mind wrapped around my own birthday that's coming up.
Yeah.
Really
so you're having 2.
Right. I'm having I guess me and my mom should celebrate that one because it's partly, she's responsible for that. So yeah.
Yeah, what about all the work she put in?
Right. Man.
It ain't really his birthday. It's my anniversary of motherhood.
Listen, it's my birthday. So, yeah. Just saying.
That's funny.
But yeah. All right. Where we at?
It sounds like we have an Ask a Bestie.
We do have an Ask a Bestie question. So shout out to Mark, our TGN family, for sending this question. So I posted a meme the other day on my stories. If you follow me at The Real Chanel, I posted It is engagement season. So I don't know if anybody is aware, but engagement means wedding season. So for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, what's after Christmas? New Year's Eve, and then Valentine's Day. So those are all the months where it's like high chance of people getting engaged, engagement season. So I posted that, and then he asked the question. I was like, oh, I should save this for Ask a Bestie. So here we are. So then he said, do you believe in engagements around the holidays, or would you rather it be a day deserving of its own attention? So when it happens for us both, would you rather it be on like one of those typical like engagement season holidays, or would you rather it be a day just outside of that so that you can remember that special day outside of the holiday?
I don't think I can.
You don't really care?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel like it's probably easier as far as like, oh, your family's already here. It's less suspicious.
Sure. Yeah. That would make
How?
sense of that part.
Right.
Like, yeah, like outside of
that.
It
would just be like, oh, look, everyone showed up for Thanksgiving. That's nice.
Yeah.
You know, but then it would be like, why is your family here?
Right. Like,
I don't belong.
What are y'all doing here?
No.
And I'm not too sure if I would want it to be like in front of all my family. Maybe I feel like it should be more intimate, at least for me. So if it was like Thanksgiving or something, I would be like, what? Like, this is all these people are here. Like, this is a lot. So I think for me, like a birthday, like, or sometime in private, would just be more of my preference for it. And not that I would be like, no, you proposed to me on Christmas. I don't want to do this. Like, I would not say that. But I would be like, oh my God. Because I get really awkward, like in public surprises. So it would just be a mess because I would be sitting there looking crazy. Like, I don't know what to do.
I think that we would all be confused about if you actually got engaged or not.
Right.
Like, did she say yes?
Right. What did she say? Right. Yes. That I'm going to laugh the entire time.
Didn't quite hear an answer there.
And I probably wouldn't say anything because I would just laugh because I'm going to be awkward.
I think you would point at him and laugh.
Yes, I would do that. So I think for me, man, please do it in private so I can.
So that when you point at them and laugh, it's in private.
Yes, it's all in private. But then we can tell people, like, I don't know, go to like a Christmas party or something and then let people know. But yeah, don't ask me in front of a lot of people because I'm going to be weird. So yeah, but he was saying, and the reason he asked that because he just said he had a friend who didn't want to propose to his girlfriend near the holidays or birthdays. He wanted that day to be special for themselves. So that's where the question came from. So shout out to his guy for, you know, making it a really special thing and having an engagement date for them as a couple.
Shout out to them. I guess I don't think I really thought about it that much because I think I would just be like, now, what kind of ring is this now? And am I saying yes?
Said more importantly,
are my nails done?
Oh, yeah. Now that's the real most
thing.
important.
So for me, it's really, was it nail day or not? Because if you propose to me when you know I didn't get my nails done, I'm going to be like, how could you?
Yeah, I would die.
Unforgivable.
Unforgivable.
No, I'm joking.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I guess I never thought. I don't think it would matter to me because in my mind, I'm never going to celebrate that day again.
That right. I was like, do people do that?
I don't care. It could be a random Wednesday. It could be a Sunday. It could be whatever. I'm never going. I'm not going to remember. I'm going to remember the moment. I'm not going to remember the date. I'm going to be like, yeah.
It could be a thing. I mean,
I'm going to remember the wedding date.
Right. Which is, am I? Well, no, I'm just kidding.
There's so many. I just feel like there's so many dates. Like, oh, we first met, our first date, the engagement, the wedding. Like, I'm with the wedding date, and that's it.
That's what I was thinking. Because some people do celebrate all of those like milestones. Like the first day we kissed, the first day you said I love you, the first day you spent the night, the first day we shared chicken nuggets.
For me, it's too much for me.
Yeah, like all of
because I won't be here for all of those days. That's number one.
You know what?
And then, like, if I have kids, then okay, how do I fit their birthday in?
Like, yes, it's a lot of remembering of the dates, and
so like every once in a while, if it's like, oh, this is the day that I said I love you, okay, but don't do that every year. Yeah, don't be like, yeah.
Said again, like we said this already. So yes, but yeah. All right. Well, that was our Ask a Bestie question.
We have another Ask a
We
Bestie.
do? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's from Brittany, and it was following up to the conversation about non-negotiables.
Okay.
We probably gonna get to the episode today.
Right. We just talking.
But the question was, are you obligated to communicate your non-negotiable?
Oh, yeah. Yes. I would say yes, because I do think that people should know what your non-negotiables are. So for instance, like you talked about yours, like feigning ignorance. And we talked about that yesterday on our call. And it's funny because, you know, when you call something out and you realize that you're doing it, it's like, oh yeah, like don't do that. Like this is not okay. And even though we were like joking about it, but it was just like, ha ha ha, yeah, like this is that. Like you're doing it right now.
You're doing it right now.
So for me, I feel like those non-negotiables should be communicated, because then that opens up the communication and clears any air, because now I'm telling you. So when those non-negotiables get crossed, or you feel like you're going to try to cross my boundaries, you already know, because we've already had a conversation about this. And when you do cross that line, then be held accountable for the actions that you took to cross that boundary of mine, when I've already explicitly told you what the non-negotiable was.
Yeah, I think it depends, because I think that there's some things that you should assume are standards, right? Like if I met a new guy tomorrow and we started dating, I'm never going to tell him, I don't expect you to beat me. Like I'm never going to say that, mm-hmm. Right? However, if you feel the need to put your hands on me one day, I'm not going to then explain it to you and then give you a chance, right? Like mm-hmm. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
I think that there are some things where it's like, there's not a general standard, right? Some things might irritate you. They don't irritate other people. People have different unique ways of doing things or dealing with things. I think that those need to be communicated, mm-hmm. right? But like regular stuff like, oh, I expect you to be kind, right? I'm not going to ever probably say to somebody, I expect you to be kind to me, mm-hmm. right? So if you're being mean,
yeah,
not in the way that my niece said mommy was being mean, but like legitimately being unkind, you know that you're being unkind. You know what I mean? Like, I think that there could be some situations where it's like, maybe you don't know.
Right.
But I think that there are definitely some situations where it's very obvious that this is me.
Sure.
I think, like, for example, with, the whole situation with my niece, mm-hmm. I was basically saying, like, I think this is something that needs to be communicated, right? Because she's developing now. Things have changed, right? Like, let's communicate that something has changed. So whatever the status quo was, y'all was babying her. Mm-hmm. We ain't doing that no more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because now she's at an age where now you need to learn this thing, or whatever this thing is. Now you need to come out of that, and you're old enough to make decisions. You're old enough to communicate. So now we need to teach you the boundaries of this. We can't go off calling mama mean and all that other stuff.
Right. But I'm talking about us, like,
as a family. Oh, yeah. Like we can't disregard.
Like
yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
We cannot disregard mom because that's her mama. So,
right.
Yeah.
So I think that there's definitely situations where it's like, okay, this is not. But I also think that what's lost a lot of times is that people communicate boundaries, but then for some reason the person doesn't perceive it as a boundary. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like something could happen. It could become a big thing. Y'all talk about it. You move on, and then the same thing happened. And you're like, didn't I just say? Yeah. But then it's still like, oh, I didn't understand that. I didn't get it that way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think that and we put today on the on Instagram. I forgot, what did we say?
We were talking about what was it? Hang on, let me pull it up. So we were talking about not how to say no. We talked about what listening to understand looks like.
I think that that's part of the issue as well. You know, because I think the big issue is this. Half the time when people communicate boundaries, the reason why people don't understand that they're a boundary is because usually it's communicated when they're crossed.
Sure.
Right? Because again, if to you think this is a general standard, you're going to be like, like, okay, I'll give you an example. For example, this isn't everyone's standard, right? But like somebody might say, okay, I don't like if I'm dating somebody, don't cuss at me. You can do that with your friends. That's how you do. I don't do that, right? That's something that you probably need to communicate. But you're probably going to communicate it when you're talking to that person and they cuss at you and you're like, what? Because
right,
you get offended,
like this. Yeah,
right? But then you say, why are you talking to me like that? Like, whoa, what's going on? And they're like, oh no, I didn't mean it like that. No, I'm not. You know, and you're like, well, I'm offended by it. Well, no, it's not offensive. It's just, but what's happening is the listening isn't happening because you don't want to be wrong. So you're saying, no, it's not offensive. This is just how I talk. This is just what I do. But the person is saying, do not talk to me like that.
It's already in the heat of the moment.
Right. But what happens is we go on defense.
Yeah.
So we stop. We're not understanding. We're not trying to understand. Right. We're simply we don't want to be wrong. Yeah. So we're like, I do this all the time. I mean, I was cussing with my last girlfriend. I cuss with my friends. They laugh. So why all of a sudden are you saying that it's offensive? I'm not an offensive person. I didn't say you were an offensive person. What I'm saying is, don't cuss at me. Can you hear? You know what I mean?
Listening goes out
the window. And so, and what did we say? What were the keys to listening to understand?
So there were, don't interrupt when the other person is talking.
That's a good one.
Don't jump to conclusions.
So, okay, let's pause right there. So the conclusion that this person jumped to is that I'm an offensive person. And then, go ahead, keep going.
Oh, don't dismiss the other person's feelings.
The feelings just got dismissed.
Know the boundaries. They are communicating.
They just set a boundary. It's went over your head.
Stay on topic.
Okay, stay on topic. Because now what you said is, I cuss at this person. I cuss at, they think it's funny. Okay, we're not talking about this person and that person. And what's acceptable with that person and the third person, that has nothing to do with me. I'm not that person. So if you want to cuss, go over there with those people.
Sure.
Right.
Yep. Summarize their point of view.
He could have just said like, oh, you know what? I did not know. I hear what you're saying. I understand that you take great offense to it. You know, like that's all that really needs to be said. Yep. Apologize for it.
And then reflect before you respond.
But a lot of that doesn't happen. So I think that it gets missed because a person gets offended. They're communicating that they're offended. The other person is trying to stop them from communicating their hurt. Yeah. They're like, no, I didn't do that. Right? That's not what this is.
Yeah.
But the other person is like, that is what this is.
Hey.
So then it's going to happen again.
Yeah. Yeah, trust me.
And then they're going to be like, but I told you I didn't mean like that. Okay, but I told you.
Right. I keep telling you.
Saying it.
And you are not listening.
Right.
Like, come on. And I've been there. So I totally get it.
So I guess, you know, to summarize, yes and no. I think that there are some extremes where it's like that I probably would never say. Like, I expect people to be respectful, right? So that's kind of broad. What do you consider to be disrespect? You know, like there's too many details. Nobody's ever going to say that. But it's probably going to be when something is said to me or something is done to me that I find disrespectful, that maybe the other person, their standard of disrespect is it's not exactly matching mine, which is okay. We just need to dial that in.
Yeah.
And I think that the other problem with boundaries is that when people communicate them, a lot of times people want to negotiate them.
Yeah.
That's the real issue.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Exactly. Oh, that was good. And shout out to Brittany for her weekly dissertation of our show. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, I'm going to start putting her dissertation as our show notes.
We got to, because she be having all the bullet points just ready to go. And it gives you a clear glimpse of what the show was about.
Next time, copy and paste. And then she going to send me a bill.
I'm just saying, right?
Cash app request.
Listen, shout out to her for listening and really listening with intention, too, because she be on point every time. So,
yeah.
Thank you. That was another great question. All right, keep on sending those. I was going to say Brunch with Bestie. Keep sending those Ask a Bestie questions. The link is in our show notes. It's also in our Instagram bio. So go ahead and click that for the form. We get them via DM everywhere else, but we're trying to streamline you all to the form so we can see them. So yes, keep on sending the questions though. We will answer them live on air each and every Monday. So yeah, we want more of those.
Ask a bestie.
Yeah. Awesome.
And we are not responsible for any of the answers.
No.
These are our opinions.
Hey, our opinions only.
Our opinions.
And there we go. I love it. That's it. That's all.
You are welcome to your own opinion as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So what is healing anyway? That is the question of the day. What do you how do you define healing?
It's such a multi-dimensional, like perplexing type of thing that you do. Healing is. But I think healing, at least for me, is identifying whatever hurt me or whatever traumatized me. So identifying that, and then working to either forgive myself or forgive whoever inflicted the hurt or the trauma on me. And then not necessarily forgetting, but allowing myself to move forward, but keeping with me like the feeling of what hurt me, so that when it comes up again, because most times it does, then I know how to respond to it. I know how to react to that. So I'm going to say that's what I would say healing is.
I would agree, of course. And I would only add that I think that it is mental, physical. I think it's emotional.
Yeah.
I think it's spiritual. I think that they're all connected. And I think it is accepting yourself. I think it's accepting whatever trauma or pain you experienced. And it's a commitment to take the good from it, leave the bad from it, and create a greater version of yourself because of it.
That's good. Yeah.
So that's how I would define it. So how does one know that what's the trigger? Like, how do you know that you need to be healed?
So like when I started off, I feel like first you need to admit that you're hurt. Like there needs to be some type of acknowledgement of the hurt or the trauma. So I think healing starts there. Like you have to be able to admit that there's some pain or some hurt, so that you can move forward. Because at least for me, it took me a while to uncover a lot of the hurts that I had, because I just kind of buried them so deep. So when those things start to surface and, you have these repressed memories and things like that, it's like, oh, I am hurt. Like this was a traumatic experience for me. So once you acknowledge it and you accept it, that happened to you, or that hurt did happen to you, or, you inflicted hurt on somebody else or some trauma on somebody else, that you have to own that. And when you can do that, then you can start that healing process. Yeah.
So I think, sometimes, so I'm trying to make a metaphor, kind of similar to an injury, like a physical injury, right? Where it's like, there's sometimes where you could, stub your toe and you're like, oh my God, that hurt.
It's like that instant hurt.
But I don't need to nurse it,
yeah.
Right? Like, I'm like, oh my goodness, it hurt. And then I probably hit it again in 5 minutes, right? And then there's other times where it's like, there's a bruise. I ran into something and now there's a bruise on my leg. I cut the skin, right? I need to put a Band-Aid on it. I need to clean it. Like I need to get this thing back together. So I think that there are some things that happens in life where you are able to withstand the wound, right? Because I'm not going to say that it doesn't hurt, but maybe you saw it coming. Maybe you, I don't know. It didn't knock you down, right? So you're like, that was not a pleasant experience,
right.
But it didn't break me, right? So it's like, I can continue. Because the question is, well, how do you know when you need to heal, right? So sometimes it's just like, okay, the impact isn't great enough for me to take the time out to do the work. right? Because I don't perceive that there is work. And then I think that there's times where it's like, that's a deep wound, you know? Like, what the heck? Like, I got to do some real work. Like, I got to, like, do some surgery. I got to unpack some stuff here.
Yeah.
So I think that there's certainly different levels, right? There could be some things where healing could be a conversation. Healing could be a conversation with your bestie, like, you know, airing out the information, like, let me just get this off my chest. Let me, you know, let me just have somebody listen to me.
Yeah, venting.
Venting, thank you. I'm like, there's a word for this. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, venting is definitely helpful. But no, I definitely agree. I know, and I'm just thinking about me and my process with healing. So to go back to what you said about, like, some of it is not like automatic, like, oh, I need to heal or I need to do something for this. Because it's kind of surface, like, okay, I can keep going, or I know I'm gonna bounce back. But I think for me, like, some of those small, like, flesh wound healings where you can kind of just keep going definitely will come back, and it'll start to get deeper, at least for me. So for instance, like, I don't know, like, me moving to North Carolina is always one I think about, where, you know, at the time I was like, I'm just leaving, I'm gonna just start fresh, you know, be out here living this new life, like, and it was okay. Like, I didn't feel like anything was wrong with that until I got in it. And then I started to see, like, okay, well, what are you running from? Like, it's some layers to this. So it started off as like a graze, but then when I dug deeper into it, it's like, you got some issues. Like, you're trying to run from something. And it took me from that graze to kind of really uncover that stuff, to be like, okay, what was it? Like, why were you running away? And why were you so unhappy and depressed in this situation? Like, what was the true bottom layer of that? Which for me, again, because I'm a barrier, like, I really had to uncover that. So in my mind, like, a lot of minds I will put off as like, this is just a graze. Like, I'm bouncing back. I'm gonna keep going. I can do this. But for me, like, I really had to stop and really look deeper into what the real issue was. And I don't think I was able to do that, honestly, until we went to that Woman Evolved conference. Like, what is wrong? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, why do you...
What was the time span between when you left and when we went to Woman Evolved?
I think when I left, that was like 2016, maybe? 2016, 2017. And I think the Woman Evolved was like 2019, wasn't it?
It was definitely 2019.
Yeah, that was 19. So
only because they stamped our pictures. We were 19.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Good.
Cool.
Now we know when we went. But I think moving was like 16, 17.
What year did you turn 30?
Oh, girl.
Because that's when it was.
Well, that was almost 5 years ago. So whatever number that is, 5 years ago. Because I'll be 35 in 22. So, I don't know, 18, 19? No, not 19. It would be like 17, 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember when you came back, we did your birthday, but during Christmas break.
Yeah.
Because so you were back home for Christmas.
Yeah, because I had left. So I literally like left in the middle of the night from North Carolina to like leave because I was so unhappy. Like just packed up my whole apartment. Was like, I am not coming back here. Like I'm leaving and I'm going home. And I never want to see this place again. And that's what had happened. But that was definitely like 17, 18 then. So it took me until 19 to really be like, what's wrong with you? Like you have some deep issues. And, you know, I'm very thankful that I went to that conference because like the week before I was like, I don't want to go. Like everything was going wrong. Like relationship, money. Like I was just like, I don't want to go. I'm just tell them I'm not going. But for whatever reason, I went anyway. And yeah, it was like, I needed to be at that conference. And I'm thankful for y'all for, you know, supporting me in that. Cause I was like dead broke, like no money. And I was just so broken at the time. Like looking back, it was just like, you really do be holding too much stuff in. But like to be completely broken like that was was crazy at the time. And, since then, since 2019, it's just been like, okay, well, what type of feelings do you feel and what is that stemming from?
Mm-hmm.
And how can you continue to heal from that by first acknowledging how you feel and where this feeling is coming from. And just going through it like that. But yeah, it took me a long time to even realize that those grazes, those flesh wounds was deep, man. Like I really had some stuff going on. And, we're talking about healing now, and I'm definitely not done. There's still a lot of work to be done. And I do think I could, utilize some professional therapy help. But, it was a start to uncover, like, you do have some hurt, some healing that needs to happen. So, yeah. So, yeah. Healing is a trip, though. You see all these memes now where it's just like, heal every day, or, people want you to come heal. But it's like, are you ever really done healing in your life? Like, it's such a constant, and it's not a end time to that. So it's like we're forever going to evolve, and as much as we evolve and we experience, and we are exposed to different things, there's going to come some healing with that every single time. And that's, when you think about it like that, it's just like, oh, it's a lot of work. And even the healing from, your ancestral cycles and traumas, it's just like every day there is something else to be healing from that, I have to work on. Or even healing through your own children, thinking about my son, like, I don't want to pass on things to him that he would, then have to heal from as well. So it's just like, healing it's beautiful when you're in it and doing the work. Well, outside of the work, because when you're in it, you're like, you can't see through the trees. You can't see anything but that healing. But when you get what you need from that healing, whether it's venting with your homegirls, going to your therapy session, doing yoga, sound meditation, whatever you're doing, like, once you get there and you feel that kind of release, it does feel really good. Like, it's a great feeling. But when you in it, ooh, it's rough. It's so rough.
I agree. I think that as long as you're living, you need to be healing. Like, I think that life in itself will bring you great joys and great pains. And I think that,
word to the song,
I think that it's a continual process. So I think that you can certainly come and be the best version of yourself, right? But I don't think that there's a such thing as like, and now I'm completely healed.
Right. If only.
Like, it could be like, yes, I have a new level of understanding of this part of myself, right? Or I've accepted certain parts of myself, or I understand myself more in a different way than I did before. But I don't think that it's like, yep, 100% healed. Or like, I'm at 70% now, 30% more to go. Like, it's
right,
because you'll always find something new. I think for me, what I've found, so typically when I'm hurt, it depends on, like I said, like, to what extent it is. Because some things I will like be like, that's cool, whatever. Or like sometimes, like, I expect that, from, like, I'm aware of this, right? So because I have the awareness, it might not injure me in the way that it would if I didn't have the awareness. But then there's some things where I'll be like, this just brought me to my knees.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God.
Yes, girl.
What the heck is this?
Right.
Why?
Right. How did I get
How
here?
did I even get here?
Oh, my gosh.
Jeez, I don't even go here.
Right.
Like, what happened?
That's the one that break you down. Like, how did I even get here?
I think that even like as a child, I was really aware because I was always writing about it in my journal. I would always be like, if I felt hurt, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna write it out. Like, and I'm gonna write till it don't hurt. Right. Like, I'm just gonna keep writing. And then through that, I would start somewhere and end somewhere else. Right. Like, I'd be like, the first page might just be like raw feelings, but then eventually it will be like, like, kind of like the shift what happened, where it's like, depending on what it was, right? It could be like, yeah, but I'm really mad at myself. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe I allowed this to happen, or, whatever. But I think that as I've grown, the healing process has just matured, right? Where it's just like, okay, my process for me is really understanding it. Like, I need to do that. And then I need to, and part of that is looking at the same situation from several different perspectives, right? So it's totally like a mind thing for me. And then too, sometimes it's like, sometimes I'd be like, and that's what you get. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe that's just the accountability, but I'd be like, well, that's literally what you get because you shouldn't have did this no way.
Yeah. Hey.
You shouldn't have been here no way. You knew better.
Listen.
But for some reason, you decided that you were going to do this. So here we are. Yeah. So yes, you don't like it, but only you can prevent forest fires.
Listen, and if you can't be real with nobody else, at least be real with yourself.
So, right. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, those other things happened, but it really stemmed from that decision that you made a month ago. Like that kicked all of this off.
Yeah.
So it showed up in form B, but it was really form U that did it, Form U. Yeah. Sometimes where it's just like, yeah, you did miss out, or yeah, you didn't get to do this, or yeah, you are, this is the situation now, but that's what it is. So what you gonna do about it, And so I think that that's what helps me. Like if I feel like, okay, you were in control of this, you caused this, then my remedy is like, well, what you gonna do about it now?
Yeah,
because you made your bed.
Gotta lie
in it.
Yep. No, that's good. So that definitely makes me think. So how do you, like, what type of things do you do that helps you heal?
I don't think there's one way to heal.
Sure. Sure. I agree.
I think that, before we had this whole analogy about, we had this whole analogy about rehabilitation.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about how, unfortunately, some of the things that we do are toxic habits, right? And how we need to rehabilitate in the way that, when you think about people who are addicted to drugs, they call them drug addicts, or they say that they have a drug habit because it's the thing that they habitually do, and they then need to reset or rehabilitate.
Sure.
And I think that everybody has their own method of rehabilitation. Mine first goes to me allowing myself to feel how I feel. So if that's crying, then I'm going to cry. But you know what I realized about myself is I rarely actually get mad. Like, I be hurt, you know? But then I remember the therapist at the Sarah Jakes conference said that, or maybe it was Pastor Teray, but somebody said that mad is really a mask for hurt anyway. Because he was like, it's more acceptable, right, to like lash out and cuss people out. Like, I don't really do all that, but I do be hurt. But I'll just say like, yeah, I'm really hurt. Like, I'm probably not gonna do like all the antics, but I mean, like, if I say I'm hurt, I'm hurt. Yeah, I mean that. So I allow myself to be hurt, and then I'll write. I'll usually start with writing first. Like, I'll be like, okay, what happened? Yeah. Like, I actually have to like replay it in my head, like, what happened? And then I'll go to, okay, if it's somebody, then okay, let me call them. And, if hopefully there can be some accountability there or whatever. But one thing that I'm very clear on is that even if somebody inflicts pain on you, the healing is your responsibility. So it might not be your fault, but it definitely is your responsibility. There are times where I felt like I couldn't make those calls. You know what I mean? Like, for example, when I was when I found out all the stuff about my dad, I couldn't necessarily, he was in prison, right?
Sure.
So, couldn't necessarily call him and be like, and all of a sudden I just realized, I know you've been there for 16 years, but oh my God, you're an addict? What? Like, I couldn't do
all
that.
of these things.
Right. But I did try to have these conversations with my mom, but at that time, there wasn't much. I think from her perspective, it was like, you were a child, stay in a child's place.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it wasn't none of your business. Yeah. Right, and then part of it too, she didn't want me to have a bad impression of my dad.
She was protecting the image that you had.
Right, she was trying to protect the image that he had, but I felt like I lost some of my identity, like I didn't know myself. Right,
ooh, that's deep, yeah.
Because this is a part of me that's missing, and I don't understand why. So you allow me to make up these things in my head.
Yeah, because as kids, we're gonna fill in the gaps, like we gonna make it up to our own. Because the gaps that I have for my dad was funny.
Right there, it's crazy. But so I think I'll try something, and if it doesn't work, I'll try something else. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I do a lot of trial and error. I try to do direct to source, but like I said, sometimes you're just not going to get what you need from people. Sometimes it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try, but it could just be that they're not in a space where they're, just like how you're healing on your own timetable. Yeah. Right. I do. And I'll say this too. I think that everybody's healing is their own journey. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that it's appropriate. I think that this is a boundary for me. Don't push me to heal when you're ready for me to heal. Right. Because that will be, depending on what it is. Yeah. That could be very, I probably, that wouldn't go well with me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right? And that's not fair though. Like you can't expect me to heal on your time. Like
your time. Or like you need to deal with this right now. Yeah, like I don't think that's I think that, don't get me wrong, I think that people can certainly, use their discernment and say like, hey, if you need help with this, like I'm here for you, but it's on your schedule, it's on your timing. It's personal. Sure. It's personal and it belongs to you. And you have to do it in a time when you're ready and in a time when you're willing to accept, when you're willing to grow, when you you have to be in a certain place to be able to make that journey. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I do the most. A lot of it is reading. Sure. Like reading different books, listening to different podcasts. Like I'll be like, oh, because sometimes I'll feel like I healed from something, and then maybe I may hear or read something, and then I can put the situation that I thought I healed from into better context. So I'll have like a new level of healing. Like I was like, oh, I thought I was good with that, but wow, when they just said what they said, that struck a new nerve. So now I need to heal another piece of that. Or you know what? That kind of confirmed they gave me the language that I didn't have right when I was in that situation. But this is what it is. So I think that for me, I'll try whatever it takes because when I was really depressed, I was like, I can't do that again. Yeah. So, and if I find myself like that, I'll be like, anything goes, right? Yeah. Like, it's almost like a desperation. Like, let me get this together because I want peace.
Yeah, I can't go back there. No.
Can't go back there.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I think for me as well, one thing that I do to help myself heal is, again, like I have to be honest and allow myself to feel whatever it is that I'm feeling. And I have to be able to acknowledge it and name it. And for so long, I didn't do those things. I would just.
Why? Why do you think you didn't do that?
You know what? I'm not sure why. I felt like maybe because in the house that I grew up in, it was just like, don't nobody got time for this. Like we all have issues and right now we don't have time for that, to deal with that. So yeah, I've never really felt like it was appropriate for me to do it when I felt like other stuff was of more importance. And I know it wasn't, but as a kid, like that's just how I felt in regards to it. And I just never did. Like I would just kind of be quiet, sit in the cut. And my feelings I would bury them because I just want to keep going. I don't really have time to stop and really think about this. So when I realized that that's what I was doing, then I was like, let me take the time to stop and feel how I feel, and allowing myself to do that. So, especially over the last couple years, especially this past year. I mean, it was just rough on everybody, not just me, but just thinking about, you know, all my hurts and why I felt the way that I felt. And then my dad issues and, you know, how that turned into so many other things of just that abandonment or, you know, him not being there or, you know, so for that, I really had to acknowledge it and address that, you know, there was some hurt feelings there. And now it's okay to speak and talk about it. And not feel like, oh, something's wrong with you or you know, you're crying over spilled milk or something like that. Like, man up or, you know, you strong. So you just got to keep going. So I think all of those little narratives that, you know, oh, you got to be strong, you got to keep going. Like, I'm slowly starting to learn that it's okay to not be strong all the time. And you know, I don't want to be. So I think that's still like work in progress for me. Especially because like I told y'all, like I haven't really cried in a minute. Like it takes a lot for me to like shed tears. And I think again, that was just for me, like just keep going. Like you don't have time to stop and show these emotions. So I'm slowly working through that and just allowing myself to feel how I feel. So that's a part of my healing right now, is just to feel all the feelings that I have. And labeling them and naming it. Like I feel confused, or I feel like I'm lost right now, or I feel uncertain, or I feel scared or afraid. So, you know, things like that, like really just naming the feelings that I feel at any given time.
That's good.
Yeah. So it's definitely still a lot of work. And you know, you talk a lot about journaling, and I've never been a journaler like ever in my life. We used to try. Shout out to my cousin Dominique. And she's such a journaler, and you know, we would have our diaries. And growing up, like I would just mess around in mine, like just ribbing or like doing silly stuff in mine. And mine was a mess. Like just looking back on my journal, like I was like just snapping on people. And maybe that I was using it to say the words that I was afraid to say to people. But I would like to try it again, but I just have to find my own way of like getting it out, because sometimes it's like there's not an option to talk to my friends or, you know, talk to a therapist. Like I need to get it out, but who can I talk to? And I think maybe writing might help that. So we'll see how that goes. That's on my goals for this break, to try to start that journey. So yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, it's in my goal list.
Try journaling.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
And maybe you need to do it in your own way, right? Maybe it's not like, okay, journaling means I have to write every day, or it has to be long, or it has to even be like a, you know, a full-blown essay. Like maybe it's bullet points. Exactly. So yep, I have to find out maybe what works for me. A halfway drawing.
But I would like to just record like my feelings, because I think that would help me pinpoint like the deeper issue.
Maybe it's an audio journal, you know.
Oh yeah,
like
sure.
Maybe it's, you know, like whatever way that works for you. Mm-hmm. But I think that if you put it in a box, the box may not work.
Exactly.
But, you know, it may work in another format.
Yeah.
I think for me as a child, journaling was definitely my go-to, because I don't know, you know, my mom, her being a single mom working 75 jobs at one time, she didn't really have capacity for, and there was other things going on, you know, in life. I really just don't feel like she had capacity. For me, I don't think that that's okay.
Yeah.
But I do think that was the situation. So I'm not necessarily justifying it, but I do understand it.
Sure. Yeah.
I do understand
Girl, me too. Now that I am a parent, I'm just like, oh my gosh. How do y'all do this with more than one kid?
I think for me, just as an adult, I'm like, whoo, no, child, what is this?
Y'all did all of this?
Right. So yes, I definitely don't think she had capacity. So I journaled a heck of a lot. I listen to a lot of music.
Okay. Yeah. Music is my thing.
That's probably why I know so much music.
Yeah.
I'm talking about old music, not new. Don't send me no new music links.
Yeah, no.
I don't know that.
Not new music.
But yeah, I think that music was like my outlet. And then I would always try to talk to, I always try to have at least one or two friends where I could feel like I can just
say whatever.
Be like, oh my God, this happened, blah, blah, blah. I had to learn though, even as a child, to be careful with that one. Be careful with that one. But yeah, but I think that those were my go-tos. And then by the time I got to college, it was like, let me get this audiobook. Let me get this book. Let me search the web. Let me, read more up on this. Let me, you know what I mean? Like it was more of a, I'm just naturally a learner anyway. So for me, it was always helpful to allow me to understand the situation more, especially with things that I just didn't know anything about. Like I didn't know anything about addiction, right? So it was like, let me help, I needed to make sense in my head.
Yeah.
What the heck is going on here? So yeah, I think for me, it's just using whatever resources I have that are available. I have tried therapy. I have tried that. And I think I told y'all about the dream interpreter.
Yes, we need to have her on the show. I think that would be helpful. Yeah, we need to slide in her DM. I think that would help a lot of people. And I'm still working on mine because, man.
But that's the thing, too, is that dreams have always fascinated me because even as a child, my grandmother, she would tell me, like, the dreams that she had. Mm. So even, like, when I was a child, when I was in college, like, I had a dream dictionary. Where I would be like, I had a dream about bugs last night.
What does that mean?
And then I write about it in my journal. And I remember when I was in college, this one dude I found, literally had a dream about bugs. And I looked something up. I forgot what. No, was it rats? It was something that disgusted me. And
it was a lot of rats in my bed.
It was though. Like, what's up with that? Outside.
I swear.
I was like,
infestation.
I was like, well, no, like okay, so our little apartment. So we lived in this apartment complex. We were all neighbors.
Yes.
It was myself, Chanel, and shout out to Besties Podcast. We were all roommates. I mean,
neighbors.
And there was like a big dumpster site next to the apartment complex.
So weird.
And there was like this one day I was literally stunned because I was sitting in my car and I was like, I can't get out. I cannot. I literally could see all several, and that was disgusting.
With all the rats.
So, yeah, I thought I was gonna lose my mind that day. Jesus, that is nothing but the Lord that I'm still here because that was a lot to take in. Now that's traumatic.
Oh my
God. Right there is traumatic.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I would always like study myself because I wanted to understand like why do you do this? Why do you not do that? Like how come you don't? And then a lot of it too is me just feeling like I didn't really fit in a lot of places. So like what? Like who are you?
Yeah.
Right. And then not only that, but I didn't want to do like just some of the stuff that people around me would do. I'd be like, I don't make sense. So I don't know. I always felt that it was very introspective. Like it just helped me understand myself more. And it revealed the different things to me. I had a dream, heard the dictionary. I don't remember if it was rats or bugs or what, but it was like somebody's cheating on you. And I was like, oh, wow. And then I remember I called my friend Brianna. Shout out to Brianna. Her and Toyana, they was always my like kind of resident therapist.
Okay.
And Brianna was like, it was like a break or something. She was like, I'm coming home, like it's okay, we gonna hang out, blah blah blah. And I remember me and her was trying to like catch up with each other. Oh, and I was in college and I didn't have no car. So I was trying to get my mom's car. And my mom kept moving the time back. And I was like, don't she understand that I need my friend right now? But of course, my mama didn't understand that because I didn't tell her.
Right.
So I finally got the car, got Brianna, and we literally ran into the dude with another girl. And I literally had called Brianna earlier that day and told her. And she was like, I don't understand. I was like, I don't know, but I can feel it.
That's crazy.
I can feel it. The senses, I'm telling you. But I think if you really study yourself, I think our bodies tell us so much. Our dreams tell us so much. Our intuition tells us so much. And that's why when I go against my own gut and then the thing happens, you have no idea how hurt I am at me.
Yeah.
Like I'd be so upset with myself because I'm like, especially when I wrote it in my journal. Like if I can go back and read it before it happened, I'd be like, you knew
Your body told you.
You knew this. And you gonna feign ignorance? No, you not today.
When you said,
we can't, because you wrote it. So I know that you knew, because you knew, because you wrote it.
It's you.
You can't write it if you don't know.
It is you.
So
dang.
So yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. We definitely gotta get that lady on. I think that would be a great show.
Honestly, and you know, and I don't have anything against therapists, right? But I will say this: I think that therapy, they ask you like, what do you think? What do you think that means? How do you feel about that? I think when it's your dream, I think that when you're answering the therapist, are you being honest?
Sure. Right, because you have to be, and if you're not, this is a waste of time.
But sometimes you don't know, right? Because you may want to feel a certain way, but maybe you really don't. Like you might be like, "Oh, I love working at the job. Yeah, of course I want to stay here." And they're like, "Do you really?" But maybe you feel an obligation because your mentor got you the job. Like maybe there's something else, but you can't name it. But in your dream will be like, you need to get the F out, you need to be right now, and this is how you do it.
Because your body telling you. It's trying to
because it's unfiltered, right? It's your dream is telling you the things that you know to be true, but you're unwilling to accept. So I think that, honestly, I will say this. I personally felt like talking to, shouts out to Lori, with the dreams, that has been more groundbreaking. I feel like I got faster results because it's like, it's not ruminating, right? It's like, she's like, no, this is what this means. Now, what this, you know, and it's you just, the only work that you have to do after they tell you is accept it.
Exactly.
This is what it is. This is what you think. I'm not, this isn't what I think.
This is what happened in your head.
Because I don't even care, right? I don't care. I don't know who you are, and I don't care. All I'm telling you is that I'm putting your dream into the context of your life. And this is what you think.
Right. This is your brain function.
But I think that that's the beauty of it, because when you can have your own thoughts, your true raw thoughts spit back at you in your face, you kind of have to accept it. Yeah. So then it's really on you. What you gonna do? Are you gonna go against yourself or what?
That's good.
So I will say in therapy, I was like, like I already know this. Come on.
Right. Tell me something I don't know.
I didn't feel like there was anything groundbreaking. But again, I am a person who I will try to do my own work before I come and ask somebody for help. So I've already read the books. I self-diagnosed, right? I said, I did all the stuff. So the dreams was more like, that's when I was shedding tears. Yeah. That's when I was breaking down. That's when I was like, oh my God. We even had her telling, no, I don't think, yes, you do.
Yeah, because you thought.
And then, she'll dig even deeper, because she only maybe told you a couple things, and then she'll keep going on, and then you'll be like, dang, what? I don't love him. I don't. I wanted to, but I don't. The
real me.
The real me
that
thinks he's a great guy on paper.
Man.
But I don't love him. So, am I going to be responsible? Am I going to be accountable for this information and release him? Or am I going to keep going on with this facade, right? Like, because now I know. And apparently I always knew. I just didn't want to accept.
Listen. Wow. So, yeah. I'm ever since you talked about that and shared like some of the what Lori had given you, it was just like, dreams are pretty tight. And I wish I could remember mine. So I'm still working on that. Because, man. But I don't know. I feel like a part of my problem too is I sleep with the TV on. Yeah, so it's not, like my dream. I wake up like, where was I in charge? Like I'm waking up thinking about whatever show that I watched. But I'm still living in a new house. I'll be scared.
Don't sleep on a full stomach.
Really? On a full stomach?
None of that.
Oh. Okay.
I might, but if you just go to sleep. And then she was saying too, like, in your dream, because you know how they have, what is it called, lucid dreams? Where you're like, okay, I need, like, sometimes if I'm having like a nightmare, I'm like, you need to wake up, right? And I'm like, right.
I said, oh!
Here I am, right?
It's me. I'm at home.
But she was like, if you are aware that you're dreaming, like if you're having a lucid dream, ask yourself in your dream, ask the question, what do you represent? What do you like? Because one time I saw a shooter. Right? I mean,
that's
just scary on the expressway.
What?
Very reckless, just shooting at everybody. Like
no
target, just loose, rampant fire. Right? Just like
that's really scary.
And I'm talking tanks.
Oh my God.
Like, and I was like, what? Oh my goodness, like what does this mean? And we broke it all down.
Okay, because I'm like, what in the world? Tanks.
What's about what it means to you?
You're having like internal war
because
something.
No,
like
no,
what's happening?
No, not at all. Oh, one time too, I had a dream that I was on the stage, but I was stomping on G.I. Joe dolls, like the little
what? The green ones?
Yeah, the little green ones. Like they're like maybe like 2 inches, something like that.
The little green
the
figures.
the little green
Army
men.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, love.
Yeah, exactly. But when she put it into context, she was like, it was a guy that I was dating at the time. She was like, you think that he's immature, and he played like she put it all into context, and she was like, your dream is telling you need to stop on these little boys and be done.
Child.
Exactly.
Wow.
so it's crazy because she was like, well, what do you because before she tell you, she gonna ask you questions about what you think about not the dream but about the symbol because it means something to you.
Gotcha.
Right. So and she's like, well, what do you think about? I was like, my brother being 11. I don't know. Like I was like, I don't play with I've never done
those
that.
was not my toys.
Exactly. So
my brother had some, but it was not mine.
Not mine.
Interesting. But yeah. Well, we went on a whole tangent. We just all good with the dreams, but I do think that is a good part of healing. And
so, how do you know when you're done with not healing in general, with daddy issues? Like, when would you be like, okay, I'm
done? So for me, I would say I'm gonna be done when I can truly like forgive my dad and not bring up like the issues that I feel like he inflicted upon me. So I'm not quite there yet with my dad. He'll call me and sometimes I'll be like, I don't want to talk to him. Like, I don't want to deal with this right now. So I'm still not there, being a little petty. I will admit to that. Like, I'm just like, well, I'm not answering when he called because he wasn't there my whole life. So I don't have to answer like every time he call me. It's very petty. I know.
That's what you get.
Hey, that's what you get. But no, I absolutely know what I'm doing. It's very petty. And, I'm taking it day by day. Like, I need to work on
you got to do it in your own time.
Yes. So I think for me, it's the forgiveness piece when I can forgive without, like, not saying that I'm going to forget what happened or my experiences or what I believe my hurts are, but I can, forgive and not hold that over their head. Like, if I'm going to forgive, I got to forgive you completely. And just, move forward and not kind of reliving what happened in the past.
Do you want to forgive him?
I do want to forgive my dad, and I do, and I'm still trying to figure out what the relationship is. Like, we're still learning each other. Like, who is this man? And it is hard for me because my dad is not healthy. Mm-hmm. So that's the difficult piece. Like, I wish, he was in better health. I wish he was like more mobile and things like that, and he's just not. So a lot of it is on me. And I feel like the petty part of me is like, I don't want to do the work because I'm the kid, not the parent. But, I got to get over that because I'm a grown woman now and you the one that's hurt. Like, it's your responsibility to do the healing, not his. And he, I'm sure he's on his own journey and I can't put that my journey onto him. So, yeah,
What is it that you would want him to do?
Like if he was so in a perfect world, so if he was like in a perfect world, if he was like in his right mind and he was healthy and mobile, like I would like him to like, come over, like hang out with me. Like I feel like the stuff that I didn't get as a kid, like that just time with him or that, engagement with him are the things that I missed out. Well, not I missed out on, he just wasn't there that I didn't get. So I think that's what, I would hope for. And he asks all the time, like, come over, like, come and see me. And, sometimes I did not too long ago. Like, I just popped over and went to see him. But then he did ask me over Thanksgiving, like, can you come over and see me? And I was just like, yeah, like, I'll see. And I didn't.
So is it that because of the predicament that he's in, you have to bear the burden of like the facilitation and going over there versus him being like, hey, saying all the things, right? I'm sorry, I really missed out. I'm proud of you. I'm gonna make this up to you, like, give me time. Because part of and this is not part of forgiveness, right? But this is a part of accountability, right? Because we have, when we forgive people, it's even if it's really for us.
Yeah.
So
yeah
even if they never take accountability or say sorry or whatever, it's still incumbent upon us. But the accountability would be him trying to make the amends.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's have daddy-daughter day. Let me be a great grandfather.
Yeah.
Like, let me show up for your son. Let me pay for his party. Right?
Right.
Me, not that it will make up for anything, but let me do everything possible that I could do.
Yeah.
To make it right.
Yeah. And that none of
I guess the burden is on you, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, and it's because he doesn't have the capacity to
Right. And I mean, I'm not gonna say that's not his fault because that's the life he led that led him to where he is right now.
Right.
But I think for me, just having to get over that pettiness and just doing it because I do want to have a relationship with him, even if it most of the I'm work. Carrying most of the work. That I do want that relationship because I do think if he dies or something, like, I'm gonna be sad because I wasted time. Like, I didn't do my part of building what this relationship could be. And I'm just holding on to, like, well, you my dad, like, you should have done this, but he can't, like, that. He's not in that space to do that right now. And after talking to him, I really don't think he knows how to be a father. Like, he doesn't know that still. Like, even, being almost 70 years old, like, he has no idea what it means to be a father. So, yeah, like, and I think we talked about this on the podcast before when, and you came with me to meet him that very first time initially, well, the second time in a long time that I had met him. But he said that, like, I thought being a parent was paying child support. That's what being a parent is to me. And I really think he has no idea what it means to be a father. So all of these, like, romanticized ideas that I had in my head when I was a kid, like, filling in the gaps for myself, like, okay, why your dad not here? Like, I was making up all kinds of stories. Like, I don't know. He just doesn't, he in jail or he don't know about me. So I was thinking about everything. Like,
right. He's a well-established businessman.
Right.
He just doesn't know that I exist. Because if he knew,
he would be there. And I mean, like, every, like, older Black man that I would always see on the street, I was like, that could be my dad. Like, he right there. Like, I had no clue, like, who he was or what he looked like or anything, which was crazy. But, though he doesn't know how to be a dad. And I think I need to stop having that romanticized idea of what I want him to be and just realize that this is the person who is my father, and if you want to have some sort of relationship with him, you have to meet him halfway to do that. So,
yeah, and also forgiveness is a process, right?
It is.
It's a process, and
it is, man. That's another healing and forgiveness is never ending. Those are continuous pieces of a puzzle that's forever moving. But I'm slowly working on it, and my hope is that nothing happens to him before we can totally make amends. But I am working on it. I do want the relationship to be better. And when he calls, he does ask about my son, which is nice.
Because that's a non-negotiable.
It
honey.
is.
If you ever want to get cut off by Chanel, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Don't ask about her son. See what happens.
I would be so upset. But he does. He calls him by his name. Like, he calls him Michael. I was like, who is that?
When you text me that, I was like, who who are we talking? Who is this? And I was like, oh, JR.
Yeah, right. Like, what? His name JR. But my dad was always like, so how's Michael doing? I'm like, oh, that's nice. Like, you remember him? You act like you don't remember me.
I'm like, Jordan? Like,
right.
What do you mean?
Who's Michael, bro? Like, stop saying that. But, right. But he does. So it's like he's definitely like trying to ask and make sure that he's, up to date. But he only saw my son at one time, but he does ask about him all the time, which is cool. So yeah, that is where I'm at with, how do I know that I'm done with him? So I feel like there are still some pieces that I need to work on, but I do think forgiveness is when you can really forgive somebody.
Mm-hmm. And yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, in some cases, right? Like, I think for me, like, I have to forgive the person, but then I also have to forgive myself.
That's good.
Because 9 times out of 10,
girl,
I didn't put myself in this situation. So I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You knew this, and here you are.
Here we are. Yeah.
So, what are we not doing again?
Is this. Jesus. Man.
This is what we're never going to do again.
Never. Never, ever. Oh, my God. That is true. Yeah, interesting.
Gotta forgive yourself and others.
Yeah, you do.
But it is a process.
It's a process. It is a process. And, nobody.
And, you get to decide the nature of the relationship, right? Like, maybe it's not the traditional, maybe it's not, okay, who's going to parent me, right? Especially if he doesn't have the capacity to do that, or maybe it's whatever form is comfortable for you.
Yeah, that's the part where I had to get over that. Like, again, I had those romanticized ideas of what a dad was, or just trying to recreate the relationship that JR does have with his dad, but it's just like, that is definitely not your situation. Like, nowhere near. But, and maybe sometimes I'm a little jealous of the relationship that my son does have with his father. Because I'm like, dang, I longed for that. Like, I wished for that. So, every time I can, I do remind my son how blessed he is that, your dad is really in your life and not just present, but engaged in what you do. Every single day. And I guess that's, God works in mysterious ways. Like, where I lacked in that, I'm so blessed that my son does not. Like, he has that. So just getting over that of, trying to compare the relationship of my dad with my son and, not feeling slighted that, oh, he has such a wonderful relationship with his dad and I didn't have that. But just really trying to cultivate the relationship that my son does have with his dad, but then making whatever the relationship with my dad is, it is what it is. And like you said, maybe it's not like this parenting relationship. Maybe it's just, hey, you and me.
Hey, you.
Hey. And this is the relationship that we have. And I think I'm okay with that. So earlier on, like, I was really like sad about it. Like, I want my dad to be more of a dad, but
and maybe if you're grieving the loss of the romanticized, person of who you thought he was. So maybe, first you were bargaining, right? Maybe,
that's good.
Maybe a little anger.
Yeah, it was some of that because me and him had a whole all-out argument. I'm like, oh, what you're not going to do is tell me nothing about, because you was not there. You don't even know me, bro. So we had some moments of that and just, talking through that. So I think it has been those stages, and now I'm to the point where it's just like, you got to take it. Take whatever this is. Take him as he is, because, life is short. And at any point in time, my dad has been very sickly. So at any point in time, I would dread to get the call, like, okay, he passed away. And then that's a wrap. Like, it's no do-over, no timeouts, no shoulda, woulda, coulda. It's a wrap. Like, it's over at that point.
Over at that point. Yeah. So yeah.
So it's still going. Still
journey.
It's a journey. Still on that journey of that healing part. But I feel like I'm better right now than I was like a year ago or 2 years ago when all this came about. I was a mess, and I feel like that's why I'm still in the single season that I'm in, because it's like, figure out your dad issues, because I cannot take this into another relationship. Like, I just could not do that to somebody's son. Like, I don't want to bring you into that. So, yes. So, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be wondering, like, is my relationship with my dad here? Is it there? Is it not there? Because I can't really, like, pinpoint, or at least I don't think I can. Well, I mean, there's some for sure that I'm like, okay, this was good. Like, but then there's some where I'm like, somehow we just, like, we have this relationship now, and I don't know how we got. I feel like my stepmom was a great facilitator of a lot of it, because I adore her. So I think that it allowed the room for it. But I think it's been like 13, 14 years. We went from I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
So I'm over your house every other day.
Every day. Like, all the time.
So,
hey, that's inspiring to me, because I'm like, hindsight is always like, wow, like, they did come a long way, but to see where you all are now, it's like, that's beautiful work. Right? It was a journey. Listen.
It was a journey.
Because I'm like, 13, 14 years ago, yeah, this was a whole different conversation. Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I think it started with me accepting him for who he was, right? When I was like, okay, so this is what a being addict means, right? And can I comprehend that? And am I willing to accept, right? Am I willing to accept? So I think that was part of it. And I think another part of it was witnessing him fall, like witnessing him fall off the bandwagon. Yeah.
Because then that certainly gave you some empathy to be like, okay, this is really, it's not him. Like, this is an addiction. I see it full force.
And I think that was always the crazy thing about it, is because my dad always showed up one way to me, which was like perfect.
Yeah.
Right? But then he was just like disappear.
Yeah.
So it was very, so I think that it's hard to make sense of it in your head. But then once you, do the research and witness a couple things in life, and you'll be like, this is really crazy. Like, but this is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the age difference too, like being 16 versus a 30-year-old woman is different.
Absolutely. That's true. Yeah. Being 16 and that is definitely true. But, definitely some evolution. But I also think that, a lot of it, if I'm being honest though, was I think it made it easier for me that my dad has always been accountable. Like, even if he would be inconsistent, he never would be like, I did this for you. Like, he would be like, man, there was a time when I was in college when I first started to try to get back a relationship with him. Every time I would see him, he would just be like, you don't have to be here. Like, I don't deserve this. Like, the things that I've done. I was like, okay, we working past that or whatever. But he would be like, I'm so proud of you in spite of who I am. Like, he always was very humble. One of the things that Wendell said was, he was like, when he talked about forgiveness, he was like, you have to understand that people don't have to allow you back in their life. Yes, they have to forgive you, but you don't deserve that. And he was like, that's what grace and mercy is. You don't deserve that. So you can't be upset when you cause them pain and then they say, that's it. You know what I mean? They get to do that. So if they allow you that, then it's great. And I feel like that is what my dad always was, very humble. Like, he was always very like, I did this to you. I did this to your mama. Like, he was always like, he was willing to stand in and own it. And he's willing to take everything that came along with it. Everything that came along with it, he was willing to take that. And I feel like he goes above and beyond as a granddad.
Aww. And that's powerful.
For my brother's kids. Now, he better do that for mine.
Listen, it's
because if he doesn't, we're back at school.
Now, look, we didn't made all this work, and now here we are. But
honestly, though, like, even if he didn't, like,
he most definitely is. Like,
no, I mean, but you never know what situation he was gonna be in. You know what I'm saying? So even if he didn't, like, this is not a debt that you have to pay off. You know what I mean?
And I'm not gonna do that tit for tat.
I'm not gonna do the tit for tat. I ain't with the tit for tat.
But just know your kid's gonna be spoiled with a lot of TTs, because my kid gonna be grown by the time he has some kids. So
The strategy might work.
I'm just saying. Full-time TTs out here. Just
you're gonna be like, change diapers. Oh hell no.
That would actually be the best. Now it's the potty training piece where I'm gonna be like, all right, you're on your own.
That's
but the diapers, I got it. I love it.
Good.
Yes.
You've been formally.
Hey, I got the babies now. It's the potty training, and after that, I'm like, all right, come to me when you're 5 and you're at school age, and then I'm back.
That's true. Then you're back.
No.
That's true.
No. And then I'm gonna leave you alone again at like 4th grade, because then you out. Because keeps me back.
So yes, healing. Healing. What are we taking away? What goes in the to go box?
I'm going to take away that healing is kind of like a revolving door. Like those little revolving doors used to be at the mall. So you go in and, sometimes you're kind of spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning until you've done enough of the work to like get out of it. So that's what I'm taking away. Like sometimes you get into that part of healing, and maybe something else might trigger you, or you'll come into another hurt where you're kind of just going through that circle, that revolving door. And then you will find what works, what remedy works to help you get through and start to heal, and then you'll exit out of that door. So that's what I'm taking. Like it's not this kind of quick fix or like put this Band-Aid on it and go, but it's really being intentional with the work that you do in whatever form that fits you for that, whatever it is that you need to heal. That's my takeaway.
My takeaway is that healing is personal. It's on your own time. It's on your own timetable. That it takes time.
Yeah.
And that I like what Ashley said. Ashley starts that life gives you classes. So I feel like you could take Daddy Issues 101 and you could pass. But then there's Daddy Issues 1 and 2. Right? Jesus. So then that's when you kind of get to like the next level. And then depending on who you are, it might be a Daddy Issues 103, right?
The AP Daddy Issues.
Right. Right? Where it's like, okay, that was good, but now you need to do a different level of healing. So yeah, but I think that try as many different methods as you have the capacity to do. But try to stick to one, give yourself time, so try journaling, maybe give yourself a month. If you feel like that's not it, you might want to add something to it, try something else, take a class. Nikita has some amazing classes with Kavya. So, with her, there's all types of resources, all types of books, study whatever it is. If it's depression, study that. Whatever it is, study it. I felt like I had to study addiction because I was like, okay, I need to understand him because I'm a part of him. So,
yeah,
even though I may not like it, I have to accept. So, definitely willing to accept. So, thanks for tuning in to Brunch with Besties Podcast. Until next time, peace.